episode of UnVeil. My name is Nicole Bozell, and on this platform, I interview women of color on discovering the beauty that lives and lies within them. We also take a closer look through their eyes on their interpretation of what they define as beautiful. My guest today is Peyton Charles. She's an influencer, vlogger, mother to a beautiful daughter, and I would even add a freaking comedian. You can find many of her charismatic episodes on the YouTube platform. Peyton has built a tribe, as she calls us, her PayPals. And naming her followers, this makes so much sense because her personality emits this vibrancy that even though you may have met her in person, you felt like you've known her forever. So without further ado, Peyton Charles. Yay!
Hey, y'all.
Thank you so much, Peyton. Peyton, just like, I am so appreciative of her doing this interview with me. I know she's been traveling for the past couple of days, so this is just really exciting. And I'm excited for my platform to be able to kind of get a closer look of who this person is. So how are you, Peyton?
I'm good. I'm good. Just, I just woke up. Okay. I know it's noon Central Standard.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't miss this, and no matter how sleepy I was. So that's why I'm in my robe and I look good. If y'all watch my vlog, I'm kind of always like this. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, so my first question is, you know, you joined YouTube in 2012, right? And your first post was in April 2014. What drove you to join YouTube and begin a channel at that time?
So I was walking in Macy's. Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I was walking in Macy's with my little girl, and this was when I was in Memphis. I was walking around in Macy's with my daughter, and one of the makeup girls was like, "I love your makeup. You should really do makeup tutorials." And I'm like, "What?" And you should do makeup tutorials on YouTube. And I'm like, people do that?
Right.
Like, I had never watched a YouTube video. I didn't even when YouTube started, it was gonna start and end just as quickly as it started, like Twitter. Like I never felt like Twitter was gonna be a thing. I never felt like YouTube was gonna be a thing. So when it started, it was just like, like everybody trying to be Facebook. You know what I'm saying? But
it's
not gonna happen. But I actually end up doing it because she was like, you really need to do it. Watch a few makeup tutorials and see if you like it and then try it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a whirl. And so I bought a camera off of QVC and it was high as hell. I didn't pay me. And I got some lighting equipment, and it's so crazy because all of this stuff wasn't as easily accessible as it is now. You can go on Amazon, order anything, but I literally had to search and look for lighting, camera, battery packs. It was difficult to put all that stuff together back then, but I made it happen. And I think some of my makeup tutorials did really well. I went viral on a couple of them, but I started watching hair reviews and I was like, oh, you know what? I like to change my hair up a lot. So I bought one set of bundles from AliExpress, and my hair reviews took off, and I was getting paid for doing hair reviews. And I did that for, I want to say, a good 3-4 years until that became oversaturated and I got tired of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not making any money on YouTube. I literally was probably making I think back then the most I had made, even with my viral videos, the most I had made a month was maybe $400. It wasn't anything.
What? Really?
But this was really before you could monetize. So when that monetize option happened where you could make money off of ads, I saw that a lot of people were getting upset. A lot of YouTubers and their audience was getting upset with how many commercials they were putting in their videos. Like it was a thing. Like people were talking about it. Like, I'm not gonna watch her. Do
I
you see how many
remember
like
that.
ad placements?
Yeah.
Like YouTube would show you like if they had like 50 commercial
Yeah.
slots, and I'm like, because I want to stay, I want people to, you know, relate to me and like me. And girl, I wasn't making no money. That's where the money is putting the ad placements up, but I didn't get that. So I wasn't putting ad placements. Like it would maybe be a commercial before the video started and after it went off, and maybe the little sponsor banners at the bottom. But honestly, the more ad placements, the more money you make. So I wasn't making any money. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away from YouTube because it's not lucrative for me as it is for other people. And I'm just gonna like dive into my careers in project management. So I walked away from it for like years.
I saw that that gap when I was researching. Yeah. And the thing about it is that I can really commend you on sharing that with us, because a lot of times, I mean, you know, I'm starting out as well, and you feel almost a sense of like disappointment. You know what I mean? You feel like you want to quit. You feel like, oh my gosh, no one's paying attention to me. Like, you know, like I'm not getting the followers that I need to be getting. But you created a sense of consistency within those couple of years. You took a break, and I feel like you re-innovated the fact of what you wanted to come back on. And sometimes, a lot of times in life, you need that in order to kind of get a better focus. But coming back on, what was the scariest part of pivoting and to become a full-time influencer? Because I remember watching, I found you because you were a recommendation from watching Kyra. So I was watching Kyra's vlogs, and then I had seen you, and maybe because both of you guys are Pisces, I'm a Pisces too. So I'm just like, okay, maybe it's vibration.
Pisces.
I'm sorry.
Are you a February or March Pisces?
I'm a February Pisces.
Like Rihanna.
Like Rihanna, I'm like February 24th. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Pisces are a little more extroverted than March Pisces. We're more introverted, like we shy and timid. But a February Pisces, I think because y'all got a little sprinkle of that Aquarius, y'all will get out, you know, y'all are more friendly, talk to people and social and stuff like that. Do you have social anxiety?
No. Yeah, I can walk into a room and try to figure out who, you know, make conversation, but I still have that part of me that still wants to do things alone. Yeah, and I have no problem being alone. So yeah, so it's a little bit of both. But as far as like for yourself, so when I was watching one of the episodes, I remember you were trying to apply for a job, and it was just like applying and no one was just like, you know, receiving back, getting the phone calls. So, and then from that shift, it was just like you went full time. Like I would love to know, like, what was the pivot or what was the change that was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna move forward and just keep going with my channel.
My audience, PayPal, a lot of people were like, you know, Peyton, I think you should just do this. I think this is your niche. I think this is what you were meant to call them, because your vlogs are so good. It's like watching a movie or episode to a show, you know, like you should continue doing more than anything. Like, oh, I just got goosebumps. More than anything, I loved it. I love editing.
Me too. Yes. I love learning things new. Yeah.
It's my artistic side, because, you know, Pisces are very creative and artistic, and I feel like I really put a lot into just making my vlogs entertaining. And I put so much work into it. Like I literally, it's a work day for me. Editing videos are a work day for me.
Yeah, it really feels that way.
I really enjoy it, and I was so unhappy as a project manager. Like I only did it for the money. I did it for the money. But vlogging, I do it because I love it. I really do love it. And I get to, and it's changed my life. It really has. Like the other day, you'll see it in the upcoming vlog. My friend Cynthia, she did her birthday dinner in the sky. Have any anxiety about being up in the air? Like I wasn't scared at all. And I was up there thinking, wow, I'm really not afraid of heights anymore.
Wow, right. Because in your episodes, you really challenge yourself and you did that. I even feel like you even prepared yourself maybe for those moments. You know what I mean? Like the going to Turkey and doing those experiences and or excursions and being alone and doing it alone as opposed to with a group, that now with your group, you don't have these emotional feelings of like, oh my gosh, they can see my emotions and they can see that I'm nervous. You know what I mean? You took on those excursions alone. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you're speaking about like your followers, that's one of the highlights for me for your channel. Like, I mean, I watch other vloggers. There are a few other people that I watch, and I've watched, makeup tutorials and things of that nature. But one of the things that I was just like, oh my gosh, this vlogger, like she meets the people that follow her. When you're like, I'm gonna go meet a PayPal for lunch, or I'm gonna go help a PayPal learn how to do Final Cut Pro. And I just find that so endearing to kind of see. And so, my next question is, you're so engaging, with your followers, specifically, on your channel. When did you, I guess, gain an understanding of relinquishing your ego and creating interconnections with your PayPals? Because a lot of times it can be scary for someone to think, I don't want to meet people in person. I'm okay with just connecting through messages or through DMs. But how did you say, you know what, I'm going to take this next step in just meeting some of the people that really follow me?
I put myself in their shoes. Sometimes you can watch people, and like, I'm gonna use I Am Pretty V, the other the comedian.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love her. I think
Mm-hmm.
that she's so funny, and I feel myself like, if I hung out with her, like, we would have a freaking ball, like all day, like her and B Simone be doing all the time. So I put myself in my PayPal shoes and thought to myself, like, I feel that way too about certain people and influencers and celebrities and stuff like that. But you never see that because people aren't as like open to meeting new people. Because sometimes, you do come across a few weird ones.
Yeah.
I won't call my PayPal's weird, but there are trolls out there that, are different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I haven't met anybody that I felt like wasn't genuine. I appreciate everybody for taking the time out of their day and want to meet me as well.
And not even that, all of your PayPals that I've seen, I'm like, they're so pretty. Everyone is so beautiful. Everyone looks so good. Like, not one, everyone looks so pretty. And their energy just radiates when you do see them, that you guys are connecting. Like, I'm like, wow, she is gorgeous. Or wow, she's like so pretty. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like this community that is just like, I'm a part of, and I want to be a part of.
and fun.
And funny.
And like, we have a ball when we meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
Always laughs. But yeah, I just put myself in their shoes, and I feel like I am an open person and a warm person. And a lot of people say that I'm their friend in their head, and
Mm-hmm.
in their head, and I appreciate that. So I always take time out of my day to meet. Plus, I ain't doing no girl. I don't be doing nothing. I have friends here, but those friends have lives, and yeah, they got stuff that they're doing, and so like, I don't always have that ability to just be like, hey, I'm out, let's meet for lunch and stuff like that, because they're at work and things like that. But a PayPal might come in town and say, hey Peyton, I'm here, I love to like take you to lunch and stuff like that. And if I'm not doing anything and my hair is done,
Yeah.
then then yeah, I'll do it, because I like meeting new people, and it did help me address my social anxiety too.
Really? Wow. Wow. What do you love about being a Black woman? When you're meeting these other Black women, what do you love?
I love that it's so many ways that we can relate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it's not based off of looks, it's more so based off, inner beauty and experiences. Like Black women, we are so strong. We have been through so much. Like the stories that a lot of people share with me, because I'm transparent to a extent. I think I give about 85% of what's going on in my life, and I reserve 15% to myself, because I feel like the trolls would just eat that 15% up, child.
Right.
But what I love about being a Black woman is our strength. Our strength are so strong. Like we really persevered through a lot, because it's so in the Black community, amongst what's going on in just the world. And there's an attack on Black women that I don't think a lot of influencers talk about.
Yes. Yes. That can be just kind of masked and not really, or like, jumped over to just talk about things that just make people feel good. They don't want to go that deep. And you're such a person on your channel. Like you really, I love the fact that you're open about your spirituality. You're open about saying, hey, pray to God, and because there have been moments in when I've watched you and I'm just like, wow, I had my own aha moment, listening to you, one of the beautiful things, another additional beauty that I love is that you allowed us to be able to have, a few episodes of sharing moments with your daughter, and being able to see her with you for, the past couple of weeks while she was there with you in Dallas. And when I look back for us, growing up in our generation, like we would have like photo album, right? To kind of reflect and see and create memories and say like, oh my gosh, this is when we went to Six Flags or whatever. Like this is, when you were born. And, for me, my mom has this whole album of just like from baptism to like my first communion to my confirmation, like all these different things that I can look back on and just trips. And when I look at your channel, I'm like, wow, like potentially for your daughter, Kyron, this is like her album, digitally, because it makes sense because of the generation that she's growing up in, right? Do you feel that you're essentially creating a diary of yourself that she can look back on?
Girl, when I tell you, I feel like probably half my views from those videos came from Karen watching them over and over again.
Sure.
Karen made sure she showed everybody that she was driving.
Oh.
Just all the fun things we did. She definitely showed everybody on her dad's side those videos over and over again.
But do you feel that you're creating a reflection of yourself, like a photo album for her digitally, so that she can see back, like when she gets older, to be like, wow, this is like my mom, and she took a leap of faith and then just kind of went into this world, and this is now her, her business essentially, and that this is what she does.
She want to do it too.
She does. Oh, is there anyone else that she loves outside of yourself that she watches? I know that it was I Am Sunny or something.
Okay, so Karen actually started watching vlogs years ago. She used to watch this white family, which I always thought was so interesting. I think they were called Haley's, I want to say.
Okay.
Loved watching family vlogs.
Oh,
and her room, she lived with me in Memphis. I would go in her room, and I mean, she could watch them all day. Sometimes she would watch the same vlogs over and over again, because she had only child syndrome. So she liked watching family vlogs where there were like a lot of kids.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, what are you in here watching? And she was like, the Pataleys, Mom. And I'm like, Kyra, I don't understand how people's lives like this. I just don't get it. Like, I never got how people watch vlogs. Like, I never got it. There was never something that was interesting to me. I would watch makeup tutorials, how to DIYs and stuff like that, but I could never get into watching video documentaries of other people's lives. I just couldn't. So yeah, Kyra watching vlogs. So she watched the Bertaleys. I don't know if she watches them anymore. She loves Naturally Sunny.
Yeah, Naturally Sunny. That's the name. Yes, Naturally Sunny. I like her too. She's so pretty. Yeah.
She loves her. Who else was she watching?
That's so wild that you said that you didn't understand that. How would she watch these families? And here you are now creating a channel. There are people are watching your day-to-day life and watching you. Wow, what what a full circle.
This was like in like 2013, 14. Vlogs have been around for a long time. I want to say in the white YouTube community.
Yeah.
Like, people doing it. And I couldn't get with it. I just could not get with it.
Do you think it was because of a sense of wanting privacy or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
yeah. Private. I used to be really private, but more than anything, I didn't feel like I had a life that people wanted to watch. Like, and do you know Miss Roshposh?
No.
On Instagram, I think her Instagram is Miss Roshposh, and then she also does YouTube videos. She's like real big with makeup tutorials, but now she's kind of ventured off into the wig sector too. Okay. But at first, but people would be like, Rosh, why don't you vlog? And she was like, girl, my life is so boring when I turn the camera off. I don't think anybody would want to watch me. And I felt the same way. So like when I was doing YouTube, you never saw my personality. It was like, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, a makeup tutorial. You know, I had that YouTube voice and all of that. Like you never saw me. But now you get to.
I know, we see all of you and I love it. And you're so like I said, you're transparent and you show us, as like you said, 80% of like what you want to show us, you know, and censor the 15%. But as far as like growing up, what were some women when growing up, like who were some beauty inspirations that you had reference from, you know, or had seen that was just somewhat of beauty? Yeah.
Oh, that, okay, so growing up, my mom.
Oh, me too, yeah.
Used to have a girl, a foundation and fashion for a lipstick, and what was that pink green mascara that you can get out the store? Was that Maybelline?
It most like probably was, yeah, maybe, or I don't even know. Yeah, Maybelline possibly.
Like heavy into beauty and makeup and hair. Like I get
all that from her. Wow. What is your favorite feature of yourself and why?
Cheekbones, girl.
Oh my gosh. I see them. I know when you're in that bathroom and you're doing your makeup, I'm like, geez, her cheekbones are just like, they're sharp. They are sharp.
So I'll tell you a little story.
Okay.
I didn't always like my face.
Why? What? When I see earlier videos of yourself, I'm like, wow. And even now, but earlier, I'm like, wow, you resemble Rihanna. I don't know if you ever heard of that. People say that.
I started liking it.
I was like, you look just like Rihanna.
I started liking it a little more when she came out, but like nobody looked like me. I was like I just felt like I looked so different, and I had a very like sharp jawline and like heavy bone structure and cheekbones, and like the people that you saw growing up that was like that was like Grace Jones and I can't think of everybody. I want to say Grace Jones. I used to get Tyra Banks a lot because of my forehead. I used to get that. But the people that you saw with such like heavy bone structure was Iman, Grace Jones, and they were uniquely beautiful, but like I couldn't relate to like my peers, and like I just felt like my face was just so different, and I didn't like it at first. And then when MAC Cosmetics came out and they had their little face diagram, I looked at it and it was my face.
Right.
You know, like the face that they would,
I know exactly.
cut those things. So I felt like that was my face, like my cheekbone stuck out. It has this very like square face because I feel like my face was a square. Like, I'm not saying I don't like my facial features, but my face square. Even time she was like, Mom, you don't have a circle face, you have a square face. You know, kids are so honest. She was like, you don't have a circle face, you have a square face. So yeah, I struggled with that for a while. And then when Matt came out with that beauty, with that facial diagram, and I just saw how, you know, the bone structure was similar to mine, I began to appreciate my bone structure a lot more. And now it's trending, like my natural face shape, Aaliyah's face shape. That's trending, like one that really sharp jawline and those cheekbones to pop and stuff like that. It's just time and just watching how what am I trying to say? Just watching how beauty unfolds in like what people view as beautiful. It changes, you know. Like,
but you know what's
considered fat.
Say that one more time.
You know, like back in the day in the 50s and 60s, Marilyn Monroe was considered fat.
Yes, but she was voluptuous. Like she had curves, you know. And now where are we at in 2021 where like now everyone is wanting the curves, everyone wants to be fuller in shape and wanting this, you know, this figure. You know, when you're speaking about like your features and everything, I love the fact that you also are open with how you treat your skin as well. You know what I mean? And because there's always a voice that you are speaking out for, like helping when it comes to, you know, you're saying with your acne or the products that you use. And I think that that's even commendable as well on your channel, because I know like you make it very comedic on your channel, which is like funny, but I know also it also can help someone out there that is having acne issues or anything with their skin to try to treat it, you know. So that's actually really, really, really great as well. My last question for you is, speaking of like beauty and fashion and everything, what's a beauty takeaway secret you can share with our viewers?
Beauty secret that I want people to take away from my channel and me is stress ages you.
Oh.
People age you. Toxicity ages you. Men age, bad friends ages you. You know, crying ages you. Like tears are bad for your skin.
What?
Girl, I be sitting home Googling all kind of stuff. Tears are bad for your skin. So if it's not beneficial to your mental health, physical health, is not beneficial to you, like your beauty. Like I feel people always ask me like, what do I do to stay looking so young? Because when I tell people my age, they always think like I'm younger, and they were like, what do you do? And I'm like, well shit, I don't drink water, I smoke, I barely exercise, I eat whatever I want. So nothing to do with that. I think it's because I cut people off. Like I literally, if it affects my peace, I cut you out of my life immediately right then and there.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
I know that sounds so harsh because a lot of people would think, you know, that's not the mature thing to do. You should be able to communicate and talk things through. But every time that I have presented a problem to someone that was close to me, that something they did bothered me, I ended up becoming the problem.
Whew. Oh my gosh, you just hit something. You just hit something, because you're constantly wanting this you're always seeking this sense of closure with someone. And a lot of times, like I've heard Steve Harvey even say this, a lot of times some people don't need, you don't need to give people closure. You just kind of need to remove yourself from the situation. And it makes so much sense. And what you just said makes so much sense, because you end up hurting yourself more, because what you wanted at the end of that discussion end up not being what it was. So then now you're constantly repeating this scenario and story in your head, like as if you did something wrong and all you did want to do was just have a conversation. That is, oh my gosh, what a great way to close. That is amazing. I love what you just said. Thank you so much, Peyton. Where can we find all your handles? Share all your handles with us for everyone that's viewing today.
Okay, on Instagram, it's I am Peyton Charles. I need to have the same across the board. On Instagram, it's I am Peyton Charles. I'm not as active on Twitter anymore, but Twitter, Peyton.Charles. Snapchat is the same. And then my my YouTube is Peyton Marie Charles. But if you type in Peyton Charles in the search engine, I'll pop up, because I'm taking over that
Yes,
that y'all know it's a character on iZombie got my name.
No, are you serious? Get out of here. Every time I'm thinking Peyton, like when I put Peyton, I see that it's the football player, Peyton Manning. So then if not, yeah, so if not, but I see you at the top of the list, like it's just growing. What'd you say?
I took my girl, I'm telling you, a good 5 years that character for my zombie, when you typed in Peyton Charles, she dominated the first page on Google. Ooh, I was so mad. Ooh, I was so mad. I'm like, now out of all the damn names they could have thought of, why they name her Peyton Charles?
Exactly.
It made me so
Thanks so much, Peyton. Okay, guys, you can catch her on all her handles as she addressed it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you, and I look forward to doing this again. This was fun.
Oh, thank you. Me too. Thanks.